passing for journalists now. So all I can do is sit here from the outside and not throw stones at the world, but try to make sense of the world for the millions of you who can't. It's the truth. It's the truth. You say, well, Mike, why can't you do anything about it? Why can't you help us, pull us out of this, part the Red? Because I'm not Moses. I can't part the Red Sea. We're all going to drown from this Red Sea that is engulfing us in this nation because it's being done on purpose. And I don't have the way to part the Red Sea. That's got to be done by God. I'll be right back. I want to hear it. Yes, our friends, the elephants, are being decimated by Islamic terrorists. They're slaughtering these giants to fund terrorism. It's the hidden underbelly of the killing of our elephants. You may not know it, but the Islamic murderers in Africa are trading ivory for money and using the money for weapons to conduct their terror attacks throughout Africa and the world. You don't know any of that because the media will not tell you that. Kenya's biggest elephant was killed by poachers recently. And I have an article for you from Paula Kahumbu. She says it is 4 a.m., and I've been sitting at my computer for hours. I just can't sleep after hearing the terrible news that Sateo, the world's biggest elephant, is dead. He lived in southeast Kenya in Tsavo East National Park and was celebrated as one of the last surviving great tuskers, bearers of genes that produce bull elephants with huge tusks reaching down to the ground. The news follows hard on the heels of the slaughter of another legendary tusker, Mountain Bull, deep inside the forests of Mount Kenya. Of all the elephants that have been killed in Kenya, these deaths are the hardest to bear. I want you to imagine human beings who would not only slaughter such creatures, which are protected in Africa, but butcher the creature while it's still alive in order to sell its ivory, to get money, to buy C4 explosives, to buy Kalashnikovs, and to buy other tools of the trade of the Islamic hordes that are taking over the world. The elephants who are being slaughtered by the Islamic murderers are the canaries in our coal mine. If they will slaughter these magnificent creatures, and they will slaughter Christians with impunity, and the world does nothing, how long will it be until a bomb goes off in your mother's house? And as George Orwell wrote, if a man comes to put a bomb in your mother's house, put a bomb in his mother's house first. We have the most powerful weapons on earth, with the biggest cowards in the world in charge of these weapons. And as a result, these small armies of Muslim terrorists are winning around the world. And let me remind you of something else. I have studied history. And the way the Muslims took over 2/3 of the world over 1,000 years ago was with small armies that conducted small attacks. They never had big weapons. They had one thing other than big weapons. They had utter viciousness. And they burned, and they killed, and they slaughtered, and they massacred, and in so doing they conquered 2/3 of the civilized world with their small armies, as they are now doing once again. Meanwhile, at the same time this is going on, the cowards in our leadership in the West sit quaking with fear. Instead talking about global warming and gay rights and humanitarianism, all the while the world is burning. And remember what I said to you in this opening on the Savage Nation. Let these words drill into you like hot coals. The elephants that are being slaughtered are the canaries in our coal mine. You're next. I'll be right back.
Warning. The Savage Nation contains adult language, adult content, psychological nudity. Listener discretion is advised. And now, America's most exciting radio talk show, The Savage Nation, home of borders, language, culture. And here he is, Michael Savage. This is an encore presentation of The Savage Nation.
I was watching a boxing match replayed of a man named Cotto. Those of you who don't follow boxing, it doesn't matter. He's amazing. He's fast. And what happened was, during the fight, I noticed that the opponent, who was excellent, was hitting him maybe once, and Cotto would counter with 3 blows. In fact, by the 6th round, it became apparent that he couldn't be beat. Cotto could be they couldn't touch him. The opponent could not touch him. Couldn't lay a glove on him. And as I say, for every one blow that hit Mr. Cotto, Cotto returned 3. And a bell went off in my head, and I realized that that's President Obama. He's like a championship fighter who cannot be touched by his opponents. If you listen to talk radio, if you listen to the belly-aching Republicans, what you hear are crybabies. People moaning, oh, he did this, oh, he did that, oh, no one will do anything. Oh, he did this, oh, now he did that, oh, he did this, oh, he did that, like a bunch of sissies. All you hear in talk radio is sissies crying about Obama. And then I realized something. We have him all wrong. And so I wrote the president a letter, a Father's Day appeal, which I published, and I really, many of you listen to the show. I mean, I know we have a large audience. I run into people who never go to the website. I'm not going to read you the whole essay. Please go to michaelsavage.com and see my Father's Day appeal to the president. You'll see a beautiful picture of the president, the first lady, and 2 beautiful children. And you'll see my appeal to the president. I want you to send it to everyone on your Facebook and Twitter lists. And I want to read you what I wrote, and then I'm going to ask you what you think about it. We're also going to talk about the butchering of the most beautiful creatures on the planet, our elephant friends. If you have any idea what's being done to our friends in Africa, your heart would break, as mine has. I just made a donation to an elephant fund. You say, well, what good is it? Go to michaelsavage.com and have your heart break. And I want you to cry. I want you to get sick, as I've gotten sick many a night, as I see them with their trunks cut off, laying left to die and rotting. And you have to ask yourself, what kind of humanity do we have on this planet that will butcher Christians and Christian villages and we do nothing? And now you say, who cares? What's a Christian to me? I'm a wild, free person. I don't care about Christians. Well, maybe those liberals out there who care nothing about Christians being slaughtered by Islamic militants or murderers or psychotics will care about the elephants. And we've got to stop the trade in ivory in China. Yes, it's the good old friends in China who think it's so cool to have a little carving made of ivory. Yes, it's the Chinese behind it because they are the ones buying the ivory. We'll talk about that and what you can do to stop the slaughter of these beautiful creatures in our lifetime. But let me begin with a Father's Day appeal on the Savage Nation. Here's what I wrote to the President. And as I read this to you, I'm going to ask you what you think of my email to the President. I'm sure he'll never see it, but just maybe, this letter will reach him. Dear President Obama, I wrote, you are like a champion boxer who cannot be touched by your opponents. You have outsmarted and outboxed them at every turn. I appeal to you to understand where your victories have and are leading our nation. While you may think winning is all, you must also understand that even victory has its consequences. And while you may actually believe you're doing the best for our nation, the exact opposite may be true. Yes, Mr. Obama, you are the champion. You have crushed your domestic politics. Could it be you have and are being used by evil forces? In the following pages, meaning in the book that I'm about to write, I try to spell out the disasters both home and abroad which have befallen our great nation. For the sake of your children and the other children of America, Mr. Obama, please consider the results of your keen political skills. Is it a safer America, a freer America that your beautiful children will inherit? Or have your advisors taken us down a dangerous path, where spying on every citizen now threatens each of us, where your obsession with immigration reform has led to a floodgate of unskilled immigrants who will be a burden on your children's children and who have displaced the poorest of America's poor in their need for services which we can never afford. Where your targeting of your conservative political opponents with IRS audits has all but annihilated the two-party system so carefully preserved for these past centuries since our founding. Would your children benefit from one-man rule, Mr. Obama? Will America's children be better off with a one-party system, Mr. Obama? Mr. Obama, please scan the following pages, I'm again referring to my forthcoming book, and try to understand the dangers you have created both domestically and around the world. While you are a political genius and champion who cannot be touched by your domestic opponents, I appeal to you to give peace a chance. To give peace a chance. Let peace enter your heart, Mr. Obama, and see the dangerous straits where you have led this nation. It is not too late for a champion to stop pummeling his opponents and see where his beating them will lead. Mr. Obama, killing your opposition is not wisdom, it is murder. Let not your advisors lead you any further astray. Please use your skills to bring this